Nothing beats coming home, does it? What a glorious feeling of safety and peace. Your own domain. Every creature has that written into its own DNA. To carve out a little piece of reality and call it theirs. Home sweet home. Nothing like kicking off your hooves and just relaxing on the fleshy couch. I wonder what's on the torture vision tonight. Kidding. Just some human juxtaposition. Now this I like. The pitchfork, a symbol of hard work, mob mentality, brutality, and pure punishment. What a fantastic design. Parietons, fuckheads, depending on what period of time they come from. You just have to appreciate the brutal, visceral fury of hand-to-hand combat. On Earth these days, they use handheld cannons to kill and maim. The damage is grotesque and beautiful. Maybe you could get your lesbian queen to bring you some of these weapons. There's a rumor there was a man here in hell who laid waste with a big fucking gun. Or so he called it. Quite the spectacle, to be honest. Ruthless, watching you devastate the fleshy bonds of their corporal vessels. Nothing short of absolute entertainment. 5 stars. Ah, that smell, that moaning, that fearful, desperate whining. You really turned this little hellhole into your own orgy pit. You are surprisingly good at this, flipping houses in hell. That could be a great reality show. I'll tell you what, that is another day. Let's take a moment to ponder your next move, your ambitions, your past deeds. Reflection is the tool to success. Let me share my wisdom with you in these moments. If God is all-knowing, then why would he be watching you? Would he not already know what your next move would be? Because he's fascinated by mortals, like a volcano burst. Inevitable but fascinating. But his vision here into hell is murky. Here there are secrets. Hell is the only place where God cannot see, and thus it gives our souls the only privacy they will ever feel. Here in hell, you can truly be alone with your thoughts. Isn't that true bliss? Beyond God's unacceptably high standards, there is no right or wrong in this world. What is legal, ethical, changes through time and circumstance. It is insane to condemn your ancestors for their beliefs, and it is naive to believe the morals society holds today will last for eternity. Do not feel morally chained by ethics or laws. Use them as guidelines, not as facts. What is flesh but a chemical construct of complex molecules? Mortals attach so much value to it, but it is but a vessel. It was never yours to have. It is given to you by coincidence or God. Your shapes are created and molded by minute blueprints, perhaps created by a supreme intellect. How arrogant to think that you are your body. It is but a vehicle to perform your soul's desires. Everything will decay eventually. Nothing shall last. Even the fires of hell will one day fade, although they claim to be eternal. Nothing can be eternal. Everything is always changing and thus ending. Enjoy the lusts of today. Take nothing for granted. Every object of lust will rot away. Take what you can today, savor it, but do not become dependent on it. Not one part of you will last. Love and lust, to want, to crave, to desire. How can anyone blame anyone to want something? God condemns you for wanting something beyond your reach, but isn't that the very essence of existence? To have more, to want more, to be more. You breathe, you grow, you eat and multiply your cells. To hunger for something is to exist. So I applaud you, succubi, in your hunt for to satisfy yourself, knowing you never will. The purity of existence, if there ever was one. Here's a conundrum. If lust is forbidden in heaven, then why do all those angels look so goddamn chiseled and fuckable? You'd expect them all to be atrocious. Isn't your soul the most beautiful thing according to God? I believe it's because God is a goddamn hypocritical pervert who just loves to stare at tits all day long. And he has a thing for birds too. That's why he gave angels wings. Thinking about it, do angels have regular genitalia? Or do they have cloacas, like birds? One can never undo what is done. This is the curse of time. One should also never feel guilty for their mistakes. One is only responsible for the actions they do now. Never feel ashamed of mistakes. Use them to become better. There is no good in this world. Only egotistical self-fulfillment. No creature will ever do something detrimental to its own existence. Good is only the alignment of agendas of enrichment. Friends and allies are only such because their wants are parallel to your own. The only relationship most important in existence is the relationship one has with oneself. Hell's never boring. That's a damn fact. It has to be, because as soon as you get used to eternal suffering, the suffering sort of ends, does it not? Each day has to be worse than the one before it. That's why hell's always changing, trying to undermine comfort. Heaven is boring, but down here it's one hell of a ride. Time cannot be wasted. Every action leads to another action. Even inaction has a causal reaction. There's no way to not influence the world around you. Every movement you perform moves air and causes chain reactions into the far future. If a butterfly can cause a hurricane, then a mere wave of the hand can topple future empires. No wonder God fears those powers in the hands of anyone but himself. Although I do not waste too much time on unbased rumors, there are voices that tell that the two who started the mountain of desire were Adam and Eve. The first humans did not gain access to heaven. Instead, they were condemned to hell along with Lucifer. In their loneliness, they reconciled and kissed each other like they had never done so before. If this is true, I do not know, but I like to believe so. I'm curious. There's a rumor that when you left Nimrod he was so distraught that he used several Onoskelis to climax in a way he never had before. Is this true? Never mind. The look on your face says enough. Question. I suspect the Chort is your favorite creature to kill and sleep with. Is it true they can reproduce using their exploding gut?
Fuck yes, they can. But I'm not going to talk to you about it.
I've seen these beasts be sold as warrior slaves. In fact, this species was the most popular among men. Designed to kill, they said, and they bleed spectacularly too. Sliding through such a tight slit, do the scratches on your skin not bother you?
Ha! No. It feels like I'm squeezing into somewhere I shouldn't be. Only, it excites me.
You be careful not to hurt yourself, dear. Daddy wouldn't want you to slip and break your neck. Just out of curiosity, do the Amazons excite you? I mean, their shapes, their vigor, their lust for fighting.
The sluts are waiting for pleasure and pain. Of course that excites me.
Like some perverse romantic comedy, a guilty pleasure that's surprisingly entertaining. If free sex is forbidden, why has God made it so goddamn delicious? To rub the flesh of one another and combine the mucus, the fluids, and the cells together in a blissful state until one reached cognitive ecstasy. The mountain of desire started as a simple long kiss. Or so the legend goes. Others joined, and where more joined, the mountain grew as bodies merged with the landscape, ever moaning, ever unsatisfied. Let's just say heaven has no such attractions. Onoskelis, a beautiful creature. They tear down their own offspring from the womb before they are fully grown, leaving them to squirm, yearn, and fend for themselves as they blindly navigate the world. It's an omnivore bottom feeder, eating anything it can get its claws on. Their limited use of pyrokinesis is sometimes used to cook rotten flesh and boil the maggots out. What a disgusting yet fascinating life it leads. This used to be a pure-blood race, but it's been befouled. The females are superior to the males, as in most species. But these are particularly strong-willed and able-bodied. Take heed when confronting these types of creatures. The Amazons. Ancient demons whose original title has been long forgotten. Legend has it that the Earth's female jungle warriors based their fighting techniques on these demons, and they adopted the very same name. They've been forced into hiding, cast aside by the goddess, and in the shadows they've been planning their revenge for ages. There's only one thing they hate more than the goddess, and that's her favorite race, the Succubi. He believes he's unstoppable.
Then, we better prove him wrong.
By being set on fire again.
I can stop him with the right weapon.
Hell is devoid of blades that can kill Baphomet.
I know someone who can forge such a weapon. One problem, though.
Being?
Not really sure if he's still alive.
Aren't we all not alive? I find it best not to think too long about it. There's a rumor whispering that Nimrod gained the ability to turn into a chort after he drank from the goddess's chalice.
Well, I can't say how things are now, but I can add to the rumor by saying he was unable to control his transformation while I was with him. Made for some interesting moments, I can tell you that.
Nimrod can leave his body and move about in the world of spirits, can he not?
Yes.
Then how did he gain these powers? Some demons learn this in a land not far from Lucifer's domain. Was that where Nimrod honed his talent?
I don't know, but what I do know is that Nimrod's spirit was not sent here. The goddess pulled him into this dimension.
Ah, see, that makes sense. She pulled him in because Nimrod was the perfect candidate to help her confront the beast. It all fits together now. It is funny, don't you think? Amazons being proud of their demonic lineage, born here in hell, whereas blood, race, and breed has become meaningless when you see what Nimrod has achieved.
Yeah, hilarious.
Now this should give you some challenge. Supposedly these thorns cause wounds that never really heal. Even as your skin regrows, they will leave an infectious mark that will burst open for years to come. If you are not careful, your delicately constructed body will be nothing more than a pus-pouring, pathetic pulp. What you see before you is as much a forest as the hairs on a man are to a louse. This is one entity, dubbed the Skin Forest. But it is the landscape that has thrived on the blood of the damned and the broken souls of the forgotten. Unlike the trees on Earth, these trees emit a sulfurous gas. But global warming is less of an issue in hell, I'd say. Imagine, before the arrival of the goddess, Agretha was the duchess of this part of hell. Now, stripped of her authority, she hungers for revenge and plans to get rid of half-breeds like yourself in her way back to the throne. Half-breeds, a stain on this world, or so Agretha believes. Must hurt her that Nimrod and yourself have such power over other demons, being disgusting fuckblends and all. Her words, not mine. So, you and this Cathar, you two have known each other for quite a while. I wonder what secrets you shared.
Well, keep wondering, because those secrets are none of your fucking business.
Truth be told, Baphomet really isn't as important as he has made himself out to be. He thanks his stature to the fact he's given himself over entirely to Lucifer. He's consumed many souls, though, which is why a strong hellish aura flows forth from his demonic flesh. That soul stench is the reason why other demons here in the region fear him. If I can be honest with you, and I think I can, the Chorts never fail to impress me. I mean, I know they are just mindless husks controlled by the goddess who has an influence over their animal instincts, but I respect how much of a threat they pose to Lucifer and his followers, even if there are hardly any of them in Black City.
Can I be honest with you too? I really don't fucking care what you think of Chorts.
The design of the cross, so simple, so elegant. A torture device rebranded as a symbol of hope on Earth. Can you imagine a miniature guillotine hanging around someone's neck? Or a church with an Iron Maiden on the walls? Thousands upon thousands have died on the cross to make people pray to the cross and believe that it is somehow a way to talk to God is Lucifer's most hilarious joke, in my opinion. Do you smell that? Beyond the iron musk I smell cowardice and uselessness. It must be the smith. I mean, how else could he grow this old? No Chort lives this long. Only cowards hold up in cancerous caverns. Like most other demons, the Harpy was concepted out of a mutation in the womb of another demon. The first Harpy ripped its way through the womb itself with its strong claws. The goddess took pity on them and allowed them to exist, but deems them too ugly to even be in the same presence as them. Nowadays, you'll see Harpies as killing machines in the arena where their legendary claws shred the fiercest warriors, to the delight of the blood-hungry crowds. In fact, a Harpy's claws make for an exceptionally valuable tool, or even a weapon with its flexible form and long-lasting durability. No wonder the goddess uses them as both functional and decorative elements in her palaces. You left an endless life of luxury behind. Why did you leave Nimrod at all?
Because I hunger for more than power and sloth. I want to feel. I want to kill. I want to fear and overcome. You don't do that sitting on a throne. You do that out here in the world.
You truly are half-beast, aren't you? The endless depths of the sea of flesh. They say it is bottomless, as all people who ever existed, ever could exist, and never will are trapped here. The corpses of the soulless. Some corpses bloat and bubble their gaseous remains, which causes the waves you witness, spectacular in its morbidity. I'm lucky, perhaps, to have a limited sense of smell, but even the stench of the sea breaches my nose. Those trying to pass over the sea often go delirious, not from hunger, but from the maddening Memphis. Oh, to partake in Nimrod's orgies. Would this not be the ultimate experience for any flesh-born entity? To experience pain, pleasure, and perversion to such extremities that the stimulation would surely be the most climactic feeling one could have, and your gushy brain matter would burst from overexposure. Suicide by sexual stimulation. What a brilliant demise. Imagine all those infinite Earths that could have existed. All God's testing specimens. All of the experiments in the bodies he never granted a soul. all left here to rot like abandoned toys. Agretha, the goddess invaded her territory and took her glory and reign. Treated as a lesser class of demon, I can imagine the hate she boiled up inside her. I can relate to her hate, just saying. And of course, I can see why she hates you. You're everything she's not. No, correction. She's everything you're not. She's pure and she hates that you still got special treatment from the goddess. Agretha attempted to force her way to power in Black City, but her pussy pass was denied. Nobody respected her, and her authority became void. I believe that's why she decided to hide with the other outcasts, the Amazons, waiting for her time to strike and make them all pay.
I see fate has given me a new path.
I think fate is sort of scared of you.
She better be.
I know I'm a bit of a gambler, but I advise you not to jump.
See? Just a little ankle cramp tomorrow, no biggie.
The lone white Onoscelis. It has been blessed with slightly more intelligence, as its neurons flow between the erotic flesh in its head. It's the first Onoscelis created in the likeness of Nimrod's brutal acts. They say old Baffy came from a race of extremely ancient demons, but they faded away in time. Many believe that Baphomet has become as powerful as he is now because he devoured all his kin. He's been stealing their spirits since time was young. Can I be honest? You know that killing Baphomet will not be the end of it. Others will follow. Delaying Nimrod's punishment is senseless and delusional. Nimrod signed a pact with the devil, and there's no stopping the consequences. Not even the goddess can protect him.
Well, as long as I'm having fun, let the others come. I'm ready.
Maybe it's your human side. You think in the moment instead of eons. I truly like that about you. Many creatures consider Baphomet as a regal demon. But when you think of it, all higher demons treat him as a simple slave.
Perhaps he looks like a bitch, so they treat him like a bitch. Makes sense to me.
Ha! You know that Ariel once drunkenly pissed on poor Baphomet. The horror of Lucifer. That's all Baphomet really is, when you think about it.
Ugly whore, honestly.
Funny, no? In the world of man, they worship him as Satan. And here he's just afraid and trembling at Lucifer's feet.
Perhaps he secretly longs for heaven. Thinks Daddy Lucifer can bring him there.
Maybe he just wants some harp lessons and sit on a cloud.
Now that's a funny image.
Oh, please don't tell me.
Aw, aren't you worried of soul-transmitted diseases?
This feels wrong. Even for hell. Let there be light.